And welcome back to episode 18 of the Oh You Didn't Know Wrestling Show. I am your 18th sweatpant wearing, Peyton Manning loving host, John Fisher. That was a mouthful, wow. And alongside Brad Shepard, who wears size 18 shoes. Hello.
16, but close. I do literally wear a 16. That's true.
Why didn't you tell me that before we did episode 16? So that'd be the easiest intro that I've ever done.
Well, it's the same reason Vince McMahon books all of the hometown people to be humiliated.
Well, yeah.
I'm not going to set you up for the rub, pal.
Potato, tomato, right?
Yeah.
No, not Shane McMahon. He looks like a tomato. That's not what I was referring to. I mean, yeah, you said the Miz. I had to go there. Man,
Yeah.
what a few days in wrestling. Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Wrestling's fake, so who really cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I think. You can get at us at Twitter, the Brad Shepard, John Fisher TV, respectively, and get us at an iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud at Oh You Didn't Know Wrestling Show. 5 stars, please, only. Not 4, because that's for suckers. 5 stars. Ronda Rousey listens to our podcast. Do you know that?
Of course. They all listen to our podcast.
Yeah. As we average 500 to 600 downloads on SoundCloud per show, all of them have to be wrestlers. Am I right? I mean, I think the whole PWI Top 500 watches our show. Well, listens.
Well,
you could technically watch.
I don't think they watch. I hope they don't watch because.
Well, actually, they could technically watch it because they'd be just watching it on YouTube. It'd be the unedited version. It wouldn't be nearly as good, but they could watch it.
Yeah, SoundCloud's for losers anyway. iTunes is where it's at. Apple for life, bitches.
Despite getting a new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, I still have my MacBook, which is I used to edit our show, and an iPad. And I will never change my mind that the iPad is the best tablet of all time. You can fight me on that in the street, and I'll tell you that you're wrong. But Rhonda listens to our podcast. You want to know why I know that?
I bet you're going to tell me anyway, so go ahead.
Oh, yeah, of course I'm going to. In her tirade, and this is just an intro. We're not going to talk about this until a little bit later on. Where Dean has a lot to say this week. Oh boy! So you can, if you want to turn it off right now, I wouldn't blame you. I think like the whole analytic thing's like 4 minutes, and we've already talked enough, so we're good. By the way, Dean has a new show airing on TBS. You want to know what it's called?
Go ahead.
Just so I don't get the title wrong, I had to look it up. The Last OG, starring Dean IMPJ. That's a real show.
I thought you were going to say The Breakfast Club.
No, it's Dave. No, well,
live from Denny's.
He hates Denny's.
I know. That's what he says.
The Last
but
OG.
Do we really believe him?
No, I don't. He's a liar. Yeah. The Last OG is airing on TBS April 2nd, starring Dean Iampietro and everyone's favorite comedian Tracy Morgan. I laughed.
Congratulations, Dean.
Yeah, there's a show about him already. It's just him telling people in the street to take a diamond cutter. I'm sorry. No, Ronda Rousey, right, listens to our podcast because in her profanity-laced tirades on the show and on social media, she said it's fake, so who really cares? And who started saying that first? Brad did, and then I did. Yeah. So we did.
I definitely said it first. I have the copyright on that. Maybe I'll sue her ass. I don't know.
Well, it's fake, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter exactly. Who cares?
Man, the thing about it. Should we just get to it now? I feel like that's the biggest. Nothing happened the past few days.
Whoa! Wait a minute, pal. We have Fastlane.
Oh, yeah. Did you like it? Did you watch the pay-per-view?
I did. Yeah, I watched it.
Did you like some of it?
I did. Yes.
What it was?
I liked some of it. I thought it was a pretty good show overall. Not great.
So what did
I thought?
What takeaways did you have with the match aside from the hellacious booking and stranglehold that they have over that Becky and Charlotte and Ronda disaster? Or I'll let you carry it away.
They've totally killed the Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Ronda
Yeah.
Rousey deal.
Yep.
I mean, it peaked too soon. It's losing momentum at a rapid pace. We look again. It's low ratings Lynch, and what actually happens when she doesn't appear on the show? Raw's ratings were up significantly from last week. Becky Lynch not on the show. So I guess, what they should do is not book her more often.
Sometimes less is more. Am I wrong?
No, I think a lot less of her would be more.
Oh, that's not where I was. That's not where I was. You're well, and you say that, but low ratings Baron, he wasn't in the main, and people watched it way more than last week. Would you look at them apples?
Yeah, he's not the main event at WrestleMania, so I don't really know what the comparison there is.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, he was supposed to be. You see, there was a dip in the middle hour when they started to say that Roman and Baron was the main event. But then,
people don't want to see Roman. What can you say?
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, seriously, I'm dead serious. Baron Corbin is a better wrestler than Becky Lynch, hands down.
No,
hands down.
No, he's not.
Hands down. It's not even debatable. There isn't even a single category she's better at.
All of them, and at least she wears clothes that fit. His vest is becoming just a little too tight. Because
he's got muscles, pal.
I don't know about that. I mean, despite being taken off the main event of Raw, I mean, he's spending too much time at the catering table. No, Fastlane.
Oh my gosh! Now you're going to make the news for fat shaming Baron Corbin. By the way, who is fantastic. Used to be an NFL lineman, by the way. Lost a ton of weight coming into the WWE. Looks fantastic. I fully support Baron Corbin.
I know.
Yeah.
The world isn't watching.
Hey, but the whole world is watching. Well, not really. But Dave Meltzer, how about that? Fat shaming Shane McMahon here recently.
He's fat shaming Shane.
Said he's looking a little heftier.
I think he actually looks fine. There's nothing wrong with. I mean, his tan is absurd. That's about it.
This tan is great. He hasn't quite reached Hulk Hogan hot dog level tan yet. So I think he's still got like a couple of levels. He can level up a little bit, but it's pretty good.
He looks like a really, really abused tomato. Horribly.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's terrible. The Fastlane. Talk to me about Fastlane. Likes, dislikes, ASL, all of it. Sorry. I had
to. Yeah. So for me, Fastlane was kind of fascinating in the beginning, but then turned more into slow lane because I felt it was dragging on. They could have had that show be 3 or so hours. It would have been much better, in my opinion. But
how long did it run?
It just dragged on too long. It had to be 4+ hours.
Did it really? Well, are you including the kickoff show or no?
I'm not including the kickoff show. It had to be close to 4 hours without that, right?
You're kidding me. No, did it really end at... So I was at work, so I was kind of like catching it intermittently. It started at 7, like all of them do. So when did it end?
Well, I'm just asking now, and I don't know, but does Dean allow you to watch the pay-per-views while you're working?
Only when I let him out of his cage and do pretend boss, so he thinks he can tell me what to do. By the way, he won't be making fun of me for quite a while. I did him a gigantic solid over the weekend, so I'm good for a while. Ooh. And so is he.
So what you're saying is you actually stroked him off?
A beef stroganoff? No, only during Lent. No. But either way, I don't know when it ended. I watched. I think I finished it around like 11:30. It couldn't. Was it really right? Was it really after 11 o'clock? If so, yikes.
It was late. It was not after 11, but it was closer to that, I think. Hell, I don't
Jeez.
remember. It just was dragging on, which is the point. I don't want to get lost here. Let's not let facts get in the way of a good opinion piece here.
This is true. So
Yeah.
tell me more. There was a point. I mean, I for one, my favorite match of the
Tell
night.
me more.
Yeah, really. My favorite match of the night was either the Shield Triple Threat or the Triple Threat Tag because again, Gable and Rude and the Revival are fantastic tag team wrestling personas in the ring, and together they're always great. And you have a star in Aleister Black who does everything he can very well. Ricochet adding the excitement for the as you call them, the flippity doos here and there. But for me, it was those two matches that were the highlights of the night. For me, at least. You okay over there? Well, Brad may have had some technical difficulties, and while he decides to fix them, it would give me a chance to tell him how awful and just devastatingly weak and simple-minded that the End of Days finisher really is. And the fact that, not every single jobber from Paducah, Kentucky has, kicked out of it is kind of a shame, really. But to make matters even worse, he thinks he thinks it's the strongest and most impactful finisher in the company when the fact of the matter is it's just the worst. It's not realistic because even if you are the one running towards Baron at fast speed, you're expected to all of a sudden just take the move. I mean, it just seems kind of weak. I don't know. There are weak finishers like Caterpillar, Otis Dojovic's Caterpillar, the Worm, made famous in the early 2000s, and even the People's Elbow. But the weirdest thing takes place when the End of Days actually is executed.
Yeah, that whole 3 count thing. Yeah, that's pretty weird.
Are you okay over there?
I'm okay. We were talking about Baron Corbin, and I had to excuse myself and run to the bathroom. Yeah. So anyway, that was my big takeaway from Fastlane was Baron Corbin.
The match is average at best.
He had a great match. It was at least 6 stars, and I think the thing that I liked about it the most, to be honest with you, was he had Roman Reigns. He was so close to beating him. I mean, it's the most protected finisher in WWE, as I've said for months. And he hits the End of Days on Roman, and the look on the fans' faces in the front row after he hits the End of Days. Oh, I could freeze frame that, put it up as a poster, and I could watch it on repeat, actually, as a GIF forever. It was great.
Well, why didn't he get the pin quicker?
Well, he was going to pin him, if not for interference by the Dastardly Shield. He would have actually pinned Roman.
No, I don't think that's true, because if he would have pinned him quicker, he would have got the pin, right? Because that finisher never loses, unless it's
makes him the new face of the company.
Unless it's in NXT, of course, then it gets kicked out of pretty often. And I have said this before. I don't think on the show, however, but I may have said it to you in private. His gimmick in NXT when he would pin people so quickly was actually very fun. And the crowd would actually count alongside so once the bell rang, the crowd would count like up until usually it was like 10 or 15, and then he'd get the pin. It was a pretty fun gimmick. I remembered it just a little bit ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, did you see the way Baron just totally bitch slammed Roman Reigns with the end of days? It was incredible.
No, we just got done talking about that.
Oh, okay. Just in case you wanted to go back and talk about it again, I had to
Well,
mention that.
no, again, the match of the night for me was triple threat tag, and then the Shield 6-man. That was fun too.
Well,
Other
yeah, I
than
mean, it took all 3 Shield members, excuse me, John, to beat Baron Corbin. How impressive was that?
well, he did look weak. He took the pin.
Well, it took 3 guys to do it.
But why
I
did
mean, his other his partners, his tag team partners were so weak. They were beaten on the outside.
But he got
Well,
pinned.
yeah, he couldn't beat all 3 of them at once.
But he got pinned. Why wouldn't they have some, schmuck like Lashley take the pin?
Why would Drew McIntyre beat up Dean Ambrose on Raw the next night and nobody comes out to help him? I don't know. These things don't make sense, and they're not ever going to.
Yeah, you know how it's funny. You know, John Cena has never came out for the save ever.
Yeah. He's a top guy, pal. They don't do that.
Yeah. Any other matches that you liked from Fastlane?
Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch was a disaster.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Was there anything in particular? The Shield match was my favorite of the night, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would have to go with.
No love for the tag team division?
I didn't like that match at all. Yeah. I hated that match.
Because the Revival won? I thought you...
No, it's like one of my least... It's probably my least favorite match of the night. Maybe. Well, Becky and Charlotte was just like shit tier. So, yeah, I would say the tag team match was like above that, but the second worst.
What didn't you like about it?
Pretty much everything.
You're not being specific.
Well, how can you be specific when it's literally fucking everything? I didn't like any of it. It's not my type of match. It's a fucking spot fest flippity doodah with a bunch of 180-pound indie marks in flipping and flying around. And, it's not my style of match at all. There are people who loved it. You obviously loved it. I'm not going to be one of those people. I do like the Revival, but not a fan of this match at all. I'm just glad the Revival are still tag team champions. And that is that.
And that'll end probably in 3 weeks.
By the way, how big of a dork does Ricochet look like?
What's wrong with him?
Now, what do you mean what's wrong? I mean, he looks like a dork.
Well, no, the promos they're writing for him are just freaking awful.
Yeah, by the way, I just want to clarify, and I don't mean a whale's penis. I mean an actual, not an actual dork, but a dork.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
should I get it?
Well, I don't know. It's like maybe you're not educated to understand what I mean. It's not my job to educate you. How you doing? But yeah, it just wasn't my style of match, and I think Ricochet they're booking him really bad because they're not covering up his weaknesses and playing to his strengths. They're basically doing the approach of put him out there and make him do the things he doesn't do well, and it's sink or swim. And sometimes that turns out good, but a lot of times it does not. So, they have a guy out there who can't cut a promo. What do? They have him cut a promo every single week, and he just says the stupidest things like how happy he is to be here. Now, granted, at his size, maybe he is. I don't know. But just having a guy who's at that level, just so corny, the lines he's repeating, and, it's just so stupid and childish. There's no emotion behind it. He just sounds like he's repeating lines, and he looks very uncomfortable on camera. In a live setting. It's just not his strength. He needs a character badly. They've got to evolve a character for him, quickly.
Yeah. I mean, Black has a character. We're still kind of waiting about what exactly that is. He's dark.
By the way, doing a 730,000 flip, that's not a character. Calling yourself what is it? What is his little
The one,
slogan?
the one and only.
The one and only. Calling yourself the one and only, that's not a character. Okay. Just wanted to point that out.
He needs something. What were your thoughts on Kofi? Because at first I was pissed and that they were overcomplicating everything like they do almost every time. But it worked. Everyone flipped out. He you know, what's the phrase that you like to use? He worked them into a shoot. Oh yeah, that was the whole state.
You work into a shoot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Brother.
Well, the whole city of Cleveland was cursing his name.
I believe, the actual quote is to repeat the great Hulk Hogan. Good night, Hulkamaniacs and jabroni marks without a life that don't know it'll work when you work a work and work yourself into a shoot, marks.
Whatever the hell that means. But Vince trolled Kofi. The crowd got pissed. And it really does seem like they're going for this Daniel Bryan underdog thing. The world is against him.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously tonight. They, as we record this SmackDown Live, they refer to him as a B+ player.
Did they really?
As he tries to get a match against the guy that Vince called the B+ player. So it's kind of seems like a repeat. But you know what? If people think that Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston and Becky Lynch are all walking out of WrestleMania as champions, yeah, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Yeah, I see that being very, very low odds.
I say 2 out of 3 will.
2 out of 3 ain't bad unless we're talking about horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you had to pick right now, which 2 were going to walk out as champ? Out of those 3. For me, it's Seth and Becky. I don't think Kofi's going to win it.
I thought about this. I think that's a great question. And then, I just said, it's fake. Who cares? I mean, why do I care? I'm watching 2 people make out in bed on Temptation Island as we record this. And I'm supposed to care about who's going to win a fake fight at WrestleMania? Come on. Come on, bro.
Well, that's fake.
Let's put the title on a poll, bro.
Let's put Do you think it'll get ratings?
It'll pop a huge rating.
Well, we have some, sort of breaking.
As long as Becky's not on the show.
Yeah. Oh. I have some sort of breaking news.
Let's hear it.
Sort of, not really. It's not from me. It's our friends over at Ringside News. There's a chance that Roman Reigns may have been pulled from next week's Raw in Chicago, Illinois. Ads on TV were advertising the Shield for next Monday, despite Pittsburgh's Raw being their farewell address. It wasn't really a farewell at all. It's worth noting that Roman is no longer being advertised on the website or the Arena website. It now lists Seth and Dean versus Drew and Baron Corbin as the Dark Main, along with Finn versus Lashley. So, if you were planning on going to Raw, if you live in Chicago and you wanted to see the big dog, go to the Humane Society. I don't know. You're not going to see a big dog at Raw, it appears.
Well, I think...
I'll beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch.
Whoa.
You piece of shit. You fucking goddamn fucker. Listen, fuckhead. You have fucking crossed the line. Get that through your goddamn fucking head. Stop pushing your shit.
What is that?
That's a very angry Roman Reigns fan, pal. They're very angry when he found out that Roman Reigns may not be appearing in Chicago. He had a word or two for Vince McMahon. Whew. He was mad, nude, and enraged online, and he couldn't take it anymore.
So there's a gigantic elephant in the room. I gave Fastlane
enough dick jokes. Okay, everyone knows already. Everyone knows about my deal at this point. We don't need to talk about it any further.
Ronda Rousey has been in the news recently, and it's a good transition from Fastlane to Raw because her performance did not get any better. I think it's fair to say, you know what? Should I just let the last OG spell it out for us?
Live from Denny's. Let's hear it.
He hates Denny's so much. Uh, and the best part is, he's not here to defend himself. Do you have anything else to say?
He seems like one of those Grand Slam breakfast guys.
Yeah, he really does. Now that you say that,
Yeah.
I'm not even being funny. I like a good Grand Slam breakfast.
Yeah.
We're vamping. We're trying to vamp. What is if you had to pick the perfect wrestler to eat breakfast with, not Baron Corbin, who would it be?
Well, not Kevin Owens if we're sharing food, but
Hey, he thinned out a little. He's looking better than before.
yeah, absolutely.
What?
Maybe. Jeez, I say anything, and it's going to be he said this, blah blah blah.
Do you think the
so I
market's
don't
gonna
know.
be pissed?
Yeah, super pissed. So I'm just gonna leave it alone.
You're really?
Okay, no, I'm not going to.
Thank you.
Alexa Bliss is like 90 pounds soaking wet. So
Yeah.
I would say probably her because that's more for me to eat.
Oh, hey, by the way. Oh, I have the link ready, but I did want to ask you to host WrestleMania, Alexa Bliss. And your thoughts?
Well, that would be another reason that I would have breakfast with her is because while I'm eating copious amounts of food,
Pancakes.
including hers, pancakes, probably passed out by the New Day. I would get interviewed for her show, the hottest thing going.
That's terrific.
Moment of bliss.
And no interruption.
Look, I'm getting ීmails, and I'll be honest, I'm not returning them.
Yeah.
She wants me to be a guest on the show. That's actually a true story. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you should have taken that deal already.
Yeah. Well, the show's not very good, so I've said no so far.
Well, it's fake, so who really cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Kids at home, we love wrestling. It's just a joke. Get over it. All right?
Everything about this show is a joke, except our actual insider news. That is actually very real. But everything else, if you take it overly serious and you don't take it as entertainment, then you probably are a fucking moron.
Wow. Well, okay. Well,
yeah, or not. I don't know.
All right, here we go.
Speaking of morons.
Ouch. Ouch. That's rough, man.
That was a WCW promo back when they were dying. Goldberg refused to follow the script. Now, I get
DDP had the best diamond cutter.
It seemed real. You want them to suspend disbelief. You want a real light presentation. And UFC gives you an opportunity to do that with a Brock Lesnar and a Ronda Rousey. But that's the line. WCW hit the line, and that's where they crossed it. When you're actually saying this is scripted, and then, well, okay, so we're supposed to believe that this is real, but everything else isn't real, but we want you to think it's real. Well, that's what WWE
You did hear that at SmackDown, right?
want to say that wrestling is scripted. She didn't violate some big wrestling kayfabe code because those days are ancient history. However, there's a line when you're presenting reality, and everything that Ronda had done in presenting herself as a reality,
there's a line.
Whatever else it was.
That line is not as long as the Denny's line, by the way.
She actually comes out and says, wrestling is scripted. That's crossing the line of stupidity. And speaking of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, you have crossed the line of stupidity yet again. You have your announcers all the time not using the word wrestling, not talking about wrestlers, and it's well documented. But now you're going to have local officials in Tampa at the WrestleMania announcements doing the same thing. You're going to mandate for them to not call the women divas or call the men professional wrestlers. They must be referred to as superstars. Please do not refer to our company as World Wrestling Entertainment. Refer to them as WWE. Don't refer to them as the WWE. Just WWE. Please do not use the term professional wrestling. Instead, use WWE or sports entertainment to describe our brand. The WWE Championship is an appropriate name for the title. It is not a belt or a strap. Vince, I know you want to be a worldwide leader in entertainment, but dude, it's a belt. It's a friggin' belt. And guess what you're doing in the majority of your product? In the ring, that's a wrestling ring. They are wrestling. And it just amuses me because the one thing that you can't do that probably sticks in your craw there, buddy, you can't change the name. WrestleMania. So that elbow's been dropped in. Well, I'll leave it to you to determine whether or not it was in the script.
Well, he made two pretty good points. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I just wonder, was the line that was crossed longer than the line at Denny's?
Well, that's, you're not wrong, because you always see him at Fridays because the Denny's line is so long, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
So let's dissect two things about what he said. Thing number one, I want to, is being a member of the wrestling media, lucky you. Heaven forbid I got my name out of that hat a couple years ago, for the better.
Hey, I am not a wrestling
Yes,
drummer.
you are. Yes, you are. Well, okay, anyway. Not the point. Since you are a part of the wrestling media in some capacity, which is not wrong, Vince's mandates, from which he was given to the media outlets who are going to be covering WrestleMania in just a couple of weeks, with the guidelines that Dean pointed out, what to say, what not to say, the guidelines here, the guidelines there. As someone who, gets guidelines for press releases literally on a daily basis from all over the place, none are as strict as that. So what is this to say? That Vince just wants to control the narrative beyond even what he can't deem possible? Or is it just micromanaging to the point where he just wants to see or be told what he wants to hear literally 24/7?
Yeah, I don't know.
Speechless.
I'm speechless because I'm very bored by that answer. Like, I actually didn't pay attention to any of it.
Any of what?
Any of what you just said. Like, I am now dumber for having heard that. May God have mercy on your soul. I have no idea what you said.
Where did I lose you?
Let's see. Let's go back. What was the last thing Dean said?
I can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, that's the problem.
Why does Vince want to control the media?
Well, I mean, it's smart on his part, right? It's good marketing. I mean, in all seriousness, it's good marketing. It's good branding to try and control the media. I think you see AEW trying to do that, and I think you see WWE trying to do that, and possibly others. But from their standpoint, it's smart business to try to do that. You control the narrative for your brand. It's a win for you. So, too bad I don't do that, pal. I don't give a shit. I just call it like I see it.
And that's fine. Not that you want to be invited to WrestleMania media parties, because, well, it just, I wouldn't want to go to any of those either. I'm just more interested in, why does it matter? I mean, yeah, you say control the narrative. That's cool. It's overboard. Because if they're trying to get to the casual fan, no one knows what sports entertainment means. That's just...
Yeah. Well.
They don't. No. You go up to like 15 people. Not the.
What's pro wrestling? What's sports entertainment?
Yeah, exactly. What are they gonna? if you pull up a clip from yesterday, what are they going to say? Oh, that's wrestling. Not, oh, that's sports entertainment, by gosh.
The only way they honestly may remember that phrase is from The Rock, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Maybe, but that's it. But that's one little handful. I don't know, man.
I mean, why can't we just call it what it is? Entertainment. It's not a sport. It's
No, you're right.
Oh, Becky Lynch, one of the most talked about female athletes on social media during this. Like, newsflash: she's not a female athlete. It's not a sport. It's fake. You fucking moron.
Yeah, it's entertainment. That's all it is. That's all it has been. Even back in the day when people really thought it was real. More so than not.
Has-beens, have you seen Maria Kanellis Bennett's Twitter?
No.
Yeah, she's got a Divas Do It Better Kingmaker hashtag with a pic of Uranus.
I don't. What's the?
Well, maybe not yours, but hers.
Why?
It's a clear picture of her butt, and it looks like she had to do 50 takes with a filter to get it right. Bless her. And she's kind of, when you look at the mechanics of it, she's kind of laid back, but positioning her arm to hold herself up. And so I guess in that regard, it's probably physically trying after 50 takes. So it's quite a good arm workout. I'm kind of jealous. Like,
so what is what's
strong.
her, yeah, she is strong. She's very strong. What's her point? Why though? Why now? Because she's pissed.
She's waving the Divas banner, which personally I find nothing wrong with that. I'm just in all seriousness, have no problem with any of this. I like it. I like that she's willing to bring attention to the fact that, you know what, I'm a woman and I have the right to feel sexy, and it's not just about having good fake fights, and there's nothing wrong with feeling the way I feel. So I'm going to post my butt on Twitter. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with both.
No. But she's been an inspiration for me. So with that being said, I'm totally going to post I'm going to post my butt on Twitter.
No one wants to see that, please.
Yeah. Well, I'm certainly not going to get 1.7K likes like she has, but that may not stop me. I just don't know if I have the arm strength like her to hold myself up while I'm leaning back with my, phone in my hand. That's impressive.
So the second part of what Dean said is Ronda Rousey. For the last several weeks on camera, off camera, she's been talking about how wrestling's scripted, wrestling's fake, so who really cares? She stole that from us. Not only that, but she could sneeze as far in their direction and they'd be submitted, and calling everyone pusses for the most part. Just saying what Dean said is going way too far. I'm over it. It's not cool. So when CM Punk did it, he wasn't calling anything, regardless of if it's fake or not, which it is. He was going about the work to shoot angle the proper way, not just being a prick. Like, people gave a damn when he said stuff. Now it's just bleh. Who cares?
By the way, I don't know if you knew this, but the Browns are not winning the Super Bowl.
Let's focus on wrestling right now. We'll get to that later.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I was kind of interested in real sports, but no, I understand. I've got to stay focused. So it's very important. So I'm sorry. Carry on.
No, I'm waiting on you, Ronda Rousey. Good, bad, ugly.
What is there to say? I think she's great in the heel, giving her freedom role to say whatever, and the help she's getting with her promos is great. This is the Ronda Rousey that I wanted to see from the beginning. And yeah, it works for me totally. The only thing I don't like, and I mentioned this, is the fake part. Don't keep rubbing it in our face that it's fake. You know, yes, it does work. A lot of smart fans online, they get totally mad and nude and enraged, and they're probably soiling their diapers. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't improve business, what does it really matter, right? What's the bottom line financials on that? If it's not drawing, then it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, so that's that. And otherwise, I think she's doing really well. So yeah, that's that. I mean, she is the star of that show. Without Ronda Rousey, there's no main event. There's no WrestleMania main event without Ronda Rousey. There is no WrestleMania main event without Charlotte Flair for Becky Lynch. There's no Becky Lynch versus anybody else other than Charlotte and Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania ever. Ever.
Yeah, I even agree to that. You know, Ronda's the reason it's the main. She's the attraction. Just she's not. I don't think she's a good sports entertainer. I'll say it that way. I'll say it that way. I don't. Her matches are fine, but that's it. She can't cut a promo. She's goes too quickly. She doesn't take her time. It just
I mean,
it doesn't work.
She's coming off real and not scripted. You're used to the WWE formula. It's very scripted. It's very specifically paced. That's not how real people talk, especially when they're pissed off. And I think Ronda does a good job of that. She doesn't sound like she's cutting a promo. She sounds like she is pissed off and she wants to fight.
She talks too fast. And I know. But, you know, I've done public speaking for years. And even if you are pissed, you don't go so fast that you can't speak clearly. I think there's a difference. There's a fine line. Okay. I say there's a very fine line.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think she's. I think she needs some time to learn it. Still, just my opinion. Everyone can get mad at me and say now she's the best thing since Kurt Angle and has done it so quickly. Yada yada yada. I don't care. It's just it doesn't do it for me. Like last night on Raw, I was there. I couldn't hear a thing she said.
Hey, speaking of Kurt Angle, it was in fact yours truly that reported over 1 month ago. Over 1 month ago. That Kurt Angle was basically done. He was leaving the company very quickly, and WrestleMania would be his final hurrah, his final match. There would be no other WrestleManias in his future, you know. And here we are. And what have they announced? Kurt Angle is having a final match at WrestleMania.
I mean, yeah, we knew that.
Yeah, well, make sure to credit Brad Shepard, pal.
No one's gonna do that.
Yeah.
No one's gonna do that. You know who isn't ever gonna credit you is Dave Meltzer. And speaking of, did Nia Jax go into one of your favorite wrestler of all time categories for her comments?
She might have. I think she totally did.
So Nia. Oh, by the way, can I get to this? What do you think of Beth Phoenix being introduced in this storyline? I forgot to ask.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I'm glad it's not Lita and Trish. I'll at least say that much.
Yeah, well, and it's nothing against Beth Phoenix. I mean, I liked her. I thought she, brought some legitimacy to the women's division for sure. So it's nothing against her. It's just, I'm just tired of these wrestlers in large, just as a rule, coming back after retirement and always getting involved in the hottest angles or being a part of the hottest angles. And now here we are again.
Yeah. I'm looking for her comments. She may have deleted her tweet, the old delete and tweet method of how to do things. She definitely deleted it. I'm not surprised. So, long story short, there was a report from Big Old Dave that Roman Reigns wasn't actually getting treatment for leukemia. He was taking oral medicine, not for leukemia. Yes, Dave Meltzer said that Roman didn't have cancer. Wow. There's a scoop. And Nia Jax basically said, "You're a piece of shit." That is a quote. that if Dave has any medical records of Romans, that is a huge violation of HIPAA violation, so he can basically go to hell. And she ain't wrong. Now, Brad, where was your report that Roman didn't have cancer? Why didn't you report that?
Yeah, I know. That's what you have to pay $11.99 for. That's the kind of stuff you're only going to get on the Wrestling Observer. So, yes. But yeah, that is that. And yeah, she did. She said Dave Meltzer is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
The fact that you make statements about people's health when you have zero knowledge about it is ridiculous. If you do have access to superstars' personal medical info, that is a huge violation of HIPAA, and I'm sure that's not the case, so shut your mouth.
That was
the exact tweet. Kudos to her. I mean, I don't like Dave Meltzer being put over by the superstars, but something like that, good for them for speaking out against that and calling it like they see it, because, it was a disgusting thing. It was totally unnecessary. He's just, he's a total joke. Dave Meltzer is a total joke. Run with that.
You're going to be the talk of the Reddit threads, buddy.
The board. So he can go back to his little board and talk about me again. Yeah, I'm so scared of that.
I know you are. I know. He said he was bigger than you. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Well, not even like 3 cycles could make that happen. And I'm not talking about the Tour de France.
Yeah, I'm waiting for your report that Roman never had cancer. Stick here to this podcast.
What a stupid, idiotic thing to say. Like, Are you kidding me? To say, he's not really chemotherapy because it's oral and blah, 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 blah.
Why does it matter?
Like, how many times is this guy just going to step on his own dick? A little fact checking would have dispelled what he was saying. And he had to backtrack after all of the outpour of, hey, you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
But that seems to be par for the course today. It's happening more and more. So he's a dinosaur, and, he just has not evolved with the times.
No, and he never will. And that's the best part.
Yep.
That is the.
By the way, if you don't like that, feel free to email him, Dave Meltzer at Juno.com. Juno, it's great.
It is the best. All right. Now, before we we're not done just yet, but before we go, I have to get into the talk of Big Dave, not the piece of trash that we just talked about. The other Big Dave. Big Dave. The real Big Dave. Big Dave and Triple H, they're face to face. Being a Batista fan growing up, that was really cool seeing him in person for the second time, by the way. First time was when he won the Royal Rumble in Pittsburgh, but I haven't seen him since, and I love his entrance music, and he was a sight for sore eyes. In his promo with Triple H, I have to say, even though it was a bit repetitive, damn it, was it not amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Sinbad, F4W1, how big is Batista's dick?
I don't know.
Say it, Apache.
Maybe you should.
Is this a bit?
F4W1, how big is Batista's dick?
I don't know.
Say it, Apache.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. Sorry. Yeah, it was good. It's actually, one of the times that I don't mind a legend, whatever you want to call him, coming back. I don't mind it. There is a history. There is a story. I'm fine with it as long as it's not the main event. They do need a casual fan attraction match.
Yeah.
So as long as they're not, taking away from another top match or something like that, I'm fine with it. And I'm going to be entertained by it again because of the history and the story. And, Dave Batista, I'm a big fan of, he was the number 2 guy. I mean, he was the top guy in SmackDown, the face of SmackDown. The number 2 guy, only Cena was bigger at the time in his best run. So shout out to Big Dave, and he's great.
Night and day difference on the mic too. Night and
Yeah.
freaking day. What he was able to do. Go ahead.
He's got to beat Paul. He's got to beat Paul Levesque.
Oh yeah, but no, because this is about the people, not the wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
Do you think Richard Fleur will be in attendance?
Well, Richard Fleur just turned 70, and he just beat up a 70-year-old man. But Paul Levesque, he knows Ric Flair, but he also knows Richard Fleur. Just like Terry Bollea testified that he doesn't have a 10-inch penis, but Hulk Hogan does.
Yeah.
So it's really complicated. In other words.
No, Big Dave was awesome. And last but not least, the main event of Monday Night Raw, because personally speaking, there were only 2 highlights. I've never seen. Okay, there was 3 personal highlights for me. I've never seen Kurt live, even though it was just a 2-minute squash. It's nostalgic, and he should have retired years ago, but hey, at least I got to see him.
But that last match in Raw with Apollo Crews, I mean, that's a lead balloon. That's a wet fart.
You should have. Okay, so I was sitting in the upper deck.
That was the reaction when fucking Apollo Crews came out.
No, it was so silent. No one knew what to do.
Like, it's Kurt's hometown. It's his last match on Raw, but it's Apollo Crews.
Yep. And the awkward part about it is, I don't know if it came across on TV, but Kurt, he gets in the ring, he's like, boy, I have a lot of respect for you, but damn it, it's my last match on Raw in my hometown. I have to go say hello to everyone. And was this on TV? Did this make the Hulu cut? He circled the ring.
I don't think the match made Hulu at all.
No, it didn't.
I don't remember it, so maybe it was very forgettable.
Oh gosh, he went around the ring and the ramp, both sides, and shook everyone's hand and took pictures, and then the match started. It was so
that definitely couldn't have been on TV.
Okay, it was so weird. Anywho, yeah, no one cared about Apollo Crews at all. No one cared.
Such a shock.
I'm trying to think of the biggest reactions of the night. Batista, pretty big reaction.
Big,
Yeah. The Shield was a nice pop.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt, obviously, hometown guy, nice pop. Ronda, not so much. Boos mostly. When she got into the ring.
Well, she's a heel.
Yeah. No, it made sense. In all honesty, and I'm not messing with you, Corbin, it could have been louder. I was a little disappointed in the heel jarring from the fans. I was, really.
Okay.
It was not as big as I thought. So. Ronda got more boos than he did.
Okay.
Which is
weird.
She's
booked a lot stronger than him, but
yeah.
Sure. I mean, I get it.
Black and Ricochet got decent pops. Elias, oh my God, was he over? I forgot about that. Oh shit. Elias, the crowd went nuts.
Why is he a heel?
I mean, when he was trashing Antonio Brown, people just around me were just laughing. They weren't even booing him.
Well, why would they in Pittsburgh?
I know.
Hate the guy. I mean, it's like they turned against him. So, I mean, that's kind of a face thing to do.
Oh my gosh. No. See, and here's the problem. Like, as loud as it was, and by the way, like a fifth of the upper deck was blocked off. So I bet that got probably like 12,000 people there, because it holds 18. I say about like 5-6K was taped over. That, like, he had the pop of the night. And yes, you're right. If he was a good, if he was a face, god damn, would he be over everywhere. And honestly, his guitar playing is getting better. So that mainstream appeal is just going to keep going up. I don't know. You're right. You're right. He should be a good guy, and it shouldn't even be a debate. But fuck, it's Vince. Who cares, really?
Exactly.
Yeah. So the original main was Roman and Baron. Obviously, Drew booked extremely strong, took out Roman, and it was Dean versus Drew in a false count anywhere match. I don't know what all made the Hulu cut or TV, but they literally fought around the arena, and that was one of the better main events in recent memory, match wise. It was just fun. It was entertaining. They went to the luxury seats. They were fighting down near the sound and then the stage area, and then up near the ramp, and then they were up in the fighting in the seats. Like it called me back to when I was watching wrestling as a kid. It was so cool, especially to see that live, like to see them go. Like because I sit whenever I'm fortunate enough to where I can get box seats for Penguin games, and they were there. Like, oh my god, yeah, I sit over there, and it was just cool. I thought it was really cool.
Okay. Can I just make an observation here?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh sports is very boring.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, they never win.
I don't know. They're tied for the most Super Bowls and Stanley Cups.
Really?
They have 5. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Who are they tied with?
New England.
Oh, okay.
Ties are for sissies.
That's right.
I
like comparisons personally. But I'll say, I mean, they're not bad. They're like a good little franchise. Not relevant now, but I mean, I'm sure the Pittsburgh sports fans we have listening are like completely jerking off right now as you describe going to this Pittsburgh sport arena and watching Sidney Crosby whine and cry about getting slashed at center ice. But everyone else finds it really boring.
Sure, they do.
Yeah.
You know they're second in ratings to Toronto for all of the NHL. I don't think you're right about that one.
Toronto. I know a guy in Toronto. And he is definitely not second in ratings or first.
Let's see. Since 1970, the Penguins have 2 more Stanley Cups than Boston, and Boston hasn't won any since 2011. So and they have only won 1 since 1972, and the Penguins have 5 since then. So I don't know who's really the better franchise there. God damn, that's sad.
Sorry, I'm yawning.
See, kids, when Brad's wrong, he deflects.
I'm never wrong, so I actually never deflect. But if I were wrong, I would definitely deflect.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
So you did watch the Hulu cut. Did you enjoy any of Dean and Drew? That was my favorite match by far. There wasn't very many.
Drew is just boring to me.
You don't like McIntyre, man.
Yeah, he's got a great look. There was never any evolution to his character at all. He has no character.
No, he's Scottish and he's
a tall, strong guy who has a Scottish accent. That's it. That's his character. There is no character. So none of these guys have characters. Don't get me wrong. It's not just him. So there's that, and he doesn't get a lot of mic time, and there's just not a lot of charisma there. It seems to be like very kind of basic, old school heel 101. What he's doing, it's not very entertaining. It's been very boring for me lately. So I think him and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania would be kind of a dud. It would be fine, but it's definitely nothing I'm excited about.
And obviously, Roman wins.
Of course. He's already getting boos. I'm sure you probably heard that in the arena.
No, I didn't hear any boos for him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not a lot, but it's getting a little more every week.
He's not even being forced down our throats at this point.
Well, not yet.
Well, no, it'll take a while. Not right now, though.
No, but the boos have started. We're getting more back to normal with the typical reaction of Roman Reigns. So, I think now is a good time to turn him heel. I thought they should have pulled the trigger on that.
Night after Mania, he beats the crap out of Seth. I'm calling it.
Yeah, they need to do something like that. But they're just, not going to. So, And it's all fake, so it doesn't really matter.
Dean just marked out for that.
It's all fake. By the way, Santa Claus isn't real. The Undertaker isn't really dead. Kane isn't his brother.
But Edge and Christian are brothers.
Hulk Hogan isn't really a racist.
Okay, yes, he is.
Oh, wait. Did you see those Ronda Rousey memes, though?
Oh, they're the best.
Oh, it's great, that picture of her getting her hair done. She's getting her hair did.
Isaac
Freaking
Yankem
great.
wasn't really a dentist.
Ooh, truth bomb.
Yeah. CM Punk isn't the voice of the voiceless.
What the hell do we do that podcast for then? That kind of back in the day.
Yeah, I know. Hey,
Yeah.
that was a good name, damn it.
God.
There's some more. One of my favorite. Oh, last but not least, the Harlem Heat getting into the Hall of Fame. Are they just running out of people and now? They're just doing tag teams and stables.
That was Dave Meltzer actually said that Stevie Ray doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. I actually strongly disagree. I do. Harlem Heat was one of the all-time great tag teams, in particular of their generation in WCW. They're 10-time tag team champions.
Yeah, but it was WCW, so it doesn't count.
Okay, but Sting. Look at Sting, and Sting was in WCW. Like, they bought WCW, so it counts. So,
yeah. But they didn't wrestle in Japan. It doesn't count.
Well, you're right. Yeah. Plus, they didn't have 5-star matches. So Dave was really opposed to Stevie for that. Yeah, but he had some negative things to say about it. And again, one of the all-time great tag teams. I was always entertained by Harlem Heat and liked them. So, but they were never going to have that like 5-star quality match, which was fine. That wasn't ever going to be them. They were larger than life characters, big guys, very believable, entertaining, over connected with the audience. I'm glad to see them going in. I think Booker is phenomenal. He's going to be a 2-time Hall of Famer. But I'm glad to see it. And look, again, he doesn't belong. Well, guess what? Vince's limo driver is in the fake Hall of Fame. Coco Beware is in the fake Hall of Fame. Like, doesn't really fucking matter. No is the answer, by the way.
I'm reading more. I'm looking at more Ronda Rousey memes. Hulk Hogan was Mr. America the whole time, idiots. Oh, they're too good.
Yes, they are. They are too good. Yeah, I could just do those all day. Like, memes are hilarious. If you want to find a way to my heart, send me memes. Tweet me memes. I love a good meme.
Shawn Michaels never lost his smile. It's too much. It's just too much. All right. Where can we find you online before we leave here together?
What do you mean we're leaving here together?
We're signing off together.
Oh, okay. At the Brad Shepard on Twitter. SHEPARD. Follow all of my work on ProSportsExtra.com. I put the extra in Pro Sports Extra. Yeah. So follow me there and doing some big things. Yeah.
You can follow me at John Fisher TV on Twitter. Did you know that Earl Thomas might go to the Browns too?
I did know that. And by the way, the Browns are still not winning the Super Bowl. Sorry to tell you this, Browns fans.
They will make the playoffs. That's a guarantee.
Okay. That's like, in for them, that is like winning the Super Bowl. That's true.
Oh, you can't deny the gigantic improvement that they would have made if they make the playoffs next year. They've been the laughingstock for 20 years. Well, outside of 2004. No, 2006. They made the playoffs 1 year. They were like 11. They were 10-6, and Derek Anderson was the quarterback. Not important, but that'd be awesome.
By the way, Bill Cosby says he knows how to knock out Ronda Rousey.
Oh. Man, I could have said nope, not gonna do it. All right, is anything else? Do you want to end on that? Do you really want to end on that?
Just wanted to give her a little pudding pop.
Oh my God. All right. Yeah. You can, again, 5 stars, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher Radio. Find us there. I'm going to give you one more chance. Is there anything else?
No, there's absolutely literally nothing else. Continue to subscribe to our show, rate us 5 stars, give us your feedback. Follow me on Twitter. Follow my work on ProSportsExtra.com. Buy your tickets on Seat Giant, my personal sponsor, with the code OYDKWS.
Oh my God. It took you 2 months and you finally got it. All
That's
right.
all, folks.
There we go. We'll see you next week.